Ladies and gentlemen, after that incredible opener, when AJ Styles has just won the World Heavyweight Championship and overcome Cody Rhodes, we are now here with the second matchup on night one. I'm HFW. I will be commentating this matchup, and this matchup is not a normal match. It's a Money in the Bank qualifiers match, and it's between a future legend and a current legend. And here comes one of the competitors in this match. It's Joe Hendry! The following contest is a Money in the Bank qualifying match! Introducing first, from Edinburgh, Scotland, weighing in at 231 pounds. If you say his name, he will appear. Joe Hendry! I believe in Joe Hendry is what everyone in this arena is thinking right now. But does Joe Hendry have what it takes to defeat RVD and qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania? This match was made official on the final episode of HFW before Unforgiven, when RVD was cutting a promo talking about how he wants to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania, how he wants to be the one to pull down the briefcase, and how he wants to compete in that matchup. And Joe Hendry made his debut, and people said his name, and he appeared. And since that, Joe Hendry and RVD has been made official for tonight. And probably shouldn't be saying this, but this is Mr. Current TNA versus Mr. TNA. And this matchup is going to be wild. But here comes the whole show. RVD is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. RVD is here, and his opponent from Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing in at 245 pounds, RVD! The whole show, RVD, his second time participating in a PLE and HFW. RVD made his debut as entry number 1 inside of the first ever HFW Royal Rumble. RVD will have lasted the most out of that entire matchup. And now, RVD has had a long road in HFW. He has since then had a match against CM Punk for the Golden Glory Championship, and he was unsuccessful. And that championship has since then been renamed to the Extreme Championship. And we saw CM Punk defend it last night and overcome Steve Austin. And this matchup is underway. It's Joe Hendry and RVD. And this matchup is one that you are not going to miss. The winner will go to WrestleMania and compete in the Money in the Bank matchup. And RVD with a spinning heel kick, and now a dive to the outside to Joe Hendry. RVD tossing Joe Hendry into the ring now. Rob now staying on the offensive, pushing Joe into the corner, and now punches, 2 elbows, repeating strikes. RVD into the corner, and sent to the turnbuckle. He's propped up, and Joe Hendry with a boot to the face sends RVD to the outside. RVD has no idea where he's at right now, but he just caught Joe Hendry with a kick to the face. Joe Hendry was looking for a high-flying move there. Joe Hendry now laid out on the mat. And RVD. Oh, here we go. Early on. Rolling Thunder. Could that be it already? Into the cover. 2 count. No. Joe Hendry gets the shoulder up on a near fall early in the matchup. RVD went for the Rolling Thunder, now up to the top rope looking for the frog splash. But Joe Hendry pushes his leg and pulls him down as his giblets are sent into the turnbuckle. Oh, man. And now Joe Hendry onto the top rope. He's got RVD with a superplex off the top rope. And both men are down in the middle of Soldier Field here in Chicago, Illinois. Joe Hendry, the first to show movement here. He's got RVD setting him up into that top left turnbuckle there. Now Joe Hendry strikes, targeting his sides. RVD's body through his entire career has taken a lot of punishment. Now Joe Hendry, Irish whip into the corner, and a backstabber. And RVD up to his feet now. He's had a lot of back pain through his career as well, with all those dives that he's taken. Now Joe Hendry with a backbreaker, targeting the messed up back of the whole show, RVD. Joe Hendry now taking over advantage in this matchup against RVD, which some fans could say that is very surprising. Oh, now RVD caught him. Monkey flip into the corner. Joe Hendry was looking for some offensive moves, but RVD caught him with a monkey flip. RVD into the corner now. Split-legged moonsault to Joe Hendry. Another cover here. Is that it? Is RVD going to Mania? No, Joe Hendry kicked out. Joe Hendry got the shoulder up at 2.5. RVD going for quick covers in this matchup. This will be a fast-paced matchup. RVD has Joe Hendry right where he wants him. RVD looking for a dive here. And no, Joe Hendry pulls the rope down, and RVD crashes hard on ringside floor. And now Joe Hendry into the ring now, as RVD is still struggling to get up on the outside, but he drags himself. Looks like, yeah, he's dragging himself to the inside of the ring. Joe Hendry now up to his feet. Here comes RVD. Looks for a clothesline. Joe Hendry dodged. Another backstabber, targeting the back, into the cover. 2 count, and RVD gets the shoulder up right at 2. Joe Hendry targeting that bad back of RVD once again. And now, going to the midsection here, driving RVD into the corner, onto the post. And now he's got RVD. And now looking for Snake Eyes into the corner. Snake Eyes into the corner. RVD off the ropes. Crossbody takes down RVD. And Joe Hendry is standing tall in this matchup. Now Joe Hendry with a neck breaker. RVD is struggling. RVD up to his feet. But now Joe Hendry with a clothesline sends RVD to the outside. And now Hendry off the ropes and a baseball slide takes down RVD. Joe Hendry is rallying. Joe Hendry getting a huge advantage over one of the greatest superstars of all time. This is incredible. Joe Hendry is making a stand in this matchup. RVD into the ring. Oh, Joe Hendry's got him. Looking for a standing ovation. No, RVD got out. Pushed Joe Hendry off the ropes. Dodges the clothesline. RVD turning around. Oh, he's got him. He's got him. Freak of nature. Connects to RVD. And now Joe Hendry. Hendry lock. Hendry lock to RVD. He's going to tap. The move that has won Joe Hendry a multiple amount of titles over the indie scene and in another few companies. RVD's going to make it to the ropes, but Joe Hendry pulls him to the center of the ring. Similar to the ankle lock from Kurt Angle. Joe Hendry. Hendry lock is still cinched in deep to RVD's right ankle. RVD turns it around, kicks Joe Hendry out of the post, and now a drop kick sends Joe Hendry out of the corner. RVD climbing up high. Listen to this arena, they want to see it. There's no chair, but who cares? Terminator! Van Terminator! A variation of Coast to Coast from RVD! And Joe Hendry is laid out in the center of the ring! RVD! Up to the top rope! Making a climb! Joe Hendry's down! Joe Hendry's down! And the 5-star frog splash to Joe Hendry. And ladies and gentlemen, RVD is going to the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania. And the winner of this match is a qualifier for the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania, RVD. Joe Hendry with a phenomenal matchup. Joe Hendry was with RVD the entire time, but the rookie couldn't overcome the legend. And with that, RVD is going to WrestleMania and will compete in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And RVD has a high chance of pulling down that briefcase. He's done it before many times in another company. And now a show of respect from RVD to Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry just competed in one of his most important matches yet against RVD. And RVD with a show of respect to the young rookie. RVD praising Joe Hendry. And ladies and gentlemen, Joe Hendry's not a meme. He's not some jobber. Joe Hendry is the future of this business and in any industry that he stands in. And with that, we're going to go ahead and go on to our next matchup on the card.